If your business isn't working the way you expected, it's not because you're bad at business. It's because no one ever taught you how it actually works. We were trained to master algorithms in medicine, but when it comes to revenue, teams, and growth, we were never taught anything. We weren't even told to figure it out. We just assumed somehow we'd know, like it would magically make sense, but it doesn't. The era of the seven-figure physician CEO is here, and it's not about working harder. It's about learning entrepreneurship as a system. The same way you mastered ACLS and PALS, you can master the algorithm of building a profitable, scalable business. That's why I recorded the Seven Figure Physician CEO audiobook. Whether you're building a medical or non-medical business, and whether your goal is your first million, first 2 million, first 5 million, first 10 million, this is where the journey starts. There's no Calvary coming to save us. We are the Calvary. So go get your audiobook now, www.entremd.com/7-figure book, and let's rewrite the narrative for physicians starting today. She started getting 5 to 7 patients a day from one referral source. This is a gold mine of gold mines of gold mines. Hi, docs. Welcome to the EntreMD podcast, where it's all about helping amazing physicians just like you embrace entrepreneurship so you can have the freedom to live life and practice medicine on your terms. I'm your host, Dr. Una. We want to build private practices that give us the opportunity to help a lot of people while creating time and financial freedom for ourselves. It's a win-win situation. That's what we want to build here. We want to say no to burnout. We want to say no to our practices not working. We want to say no to be so stressed out, don't have time for anything, not even to think. Like, we're going to say no to all of that. Okay. Over the last 15 years, I've run my own private practice, and I have worked with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of doctors. Like, the stuff we're talking about, these are not stories. These are things that work. They have worked. They've worked for a decade and a half. They continue to work, right? So that's what you're going to get here. You're going to get proven things, okay? I want to give a big shout out for Dr. Larissa. When I looked at what she typed, I was like, this woman is like serious, like a heart attack. Like, what is going on? And so I go to her Google page to go look. She got 13. In the last 24 hours, she got 13 new 5-star reviews because of a simple strategy, and she took action on it. That's it. And so now she has 39 reviews. Her overall thing is at 5-star. Now her business looks very different than it looked yesterday. Because believe it or not, people judge you by what they see online. They don't know. How many of you in the last week, you've Googled somebody, you heard about somebody, and you Googled them. Someone said, oh, this is a good doctor, or this is a good whatever they do. And you pulled out your phone and you Googled them. Because this is what we do. Same thing, when I go to the airport and I cannot walk past a bookstore. It's just a thing. I have books everywhere in my house, but still, I go to the airport. I'm like, no, I'm not going to the bookstore today. I'm not. I do. Okay. But I'm there looking at a book. I have it in my hand. What do? I go to Amazon. I pull up the book. I read the reviews. That's just human nature. So we're going to control our own online brand. So anyway, but 13 5-star reviews in 24 hours. And this is what I want to show you. When you have simple strategies and you throw massive action behind it, what you end up with is never-ending growth. And that's personal growth. That's growth for you as the entrepreneur. And that's growth for your business. Okay? Simple strategies, massive action, unending growth. So we're doing serious work here. Okay? Today, we're going to look at external marketing strategies. But before I tell you what I want to tell you, I want to make sure we're on the same page. Some other things I'm going to tell you are going to make you feel a little uncomfortable. Just a little. Nothing bad. Just a little bit. Some of them may be things you're not doing at all right now. And so you may say, well, I don't usually do stuff like that. I want you to think for a moment. I want you to think about the person that your business serves. I want you to think about the person who has a pain that your business solves. Now, there is somebody who is in pain. Last night, they had a nightmare based on the pain that your business solves. If they knew you existed, they're just like, oh my, what do you want? Okay, they've been looking for someone just like you. They just don't know you exist. So my question to you is, are you willing to do something a little messy to become really good at it? Are you willing to do something a little uncomfortable to become comfortable with it? Are you willing to do something you've never done before so this person who had that nightmare can find you? Are you willing to do that for this person? Not you, for this person. You're here, you're a weight loss doc, you know the difference that it makes in the lives of your people, and there's someone who's been looking for someone just like you. someone just like you, right? You're a sleep doc. There's a human that has never slept for more than 5 hours at night for over a decade. And they're malfunctioning at work. They're snapping at their kids. They're doing all of this stuff. You can fix that in your sleep. No pun intended. But they don't know you exist. Will you show up for them? So yes, we're going to see some things that are uncomfortable. We haven't done before, all of that. These are not problems. For the sake of the people we serve, we will show up and we will support them. Okay? We will show up so they can find us. Okay. Now, I thought about, when you take the internal marketing strategies and the external, you put them together, it's wild what it produces, okay? Because the things we talked about yesterday, I have watched people over and over and over and over again use it to double their practice, okay? Over and over and over again. Now, when you layer on this, what you're doing is you're creating so many streams of patients that if something happened to one stream died off, it won't affect your practice. For instance, right? There was a pandemic. How do you thrive in the midst of a pandemic? You can't have one source of patients, right? A hospital comes and opens a clinic right next to your clinic. How does your practice still survive? You cannot have one source of patients. You have a referral source that was responsible for 30% of your patients. And now that group got bought out by a hospital and now they're referring to the hospital. How does your practice still survive? Your practice cannot have one source of patients. With what I'm showing you, you have 7 strategies from yesterday. You have one strategy that is like 10 in itself from today. You have 8 streams of patients. So if one dried up or 2 dried up, guess what happens? You still have 6 left and you can thrive on 6. Okay? So 1 is too small a number for greatness. 1 is too small a number for stability. Okay? So we don't do 1. So sometimes people tell me, I don't need all those marketing things. We've just been growing by word of mouth and it's been going great. What if something happens to the word of mouth? Then what happens? Do you see what I'm saying? So we're going to embrace all of this. And I thought of all the external marketing strategies, if I could pick the most powerful one to give you today, what would that be? Okay. Now, when I say it, you're going to be like, really, Dr. Una? Like, come on. Like, I thought you were going to come up with some genius stuff today. I'm telling you, this is genius stuff. Remember what I told you. My job is to make things simple. Okay. Doesn't mean it's no longer genius. Okay. But the most powerful thing I could think of was building a profitable referral base, not patients, but people who have your people who could send them to you. Now, we're talking about a profitable referral base. Now, I want to give you a few illustrations here. So first of all, one of our clients, she is planning for some really serious goals, okay? Like her goal for 2026 is ginormous. And she is somebody who is already running a multi-million-dollar practice. Okay, so it's easy to set goals. And sometimes the goals are wishes. They're not really goals. And so I started looking, what is the strategy she's going to use to pull this off? And she told me something that made me go like, oh, she's going to do this. And this is going to be so wild. I already brought out my popcorn. I'm like, I am ready. Once this hits, I am ready to celebrate. You know what she did? She started cultivating a relationship with a potential referral source with 60 clinicians. So 60 doctors, nurse practitioners, PAs, 60. If you have an organization with 60 people sending people to you, do you think you could grow pretty quick? Right? And that's not the only, she's using all the strategies from yesterday, and that's not the only referral source she's talking to, but you can see that her plan and her goals line up. You're like, okay, this person is serious about what she talked about. Okay? All right. Now, that's in process. We have another client, and I tell this story all the time. She worked on a referral source that she thought had 19 clinicians. Okay? She's like, I went to this place. She was a weight loss doc. This was an orthopedic practice, and they had 19 doctors, NPs, PAs, everybody. And she went to them and got no after no after no after no for 11 months. And after 11 months, they said yes. Like, come do a lunch for us and all of those things, or, a meet and greet, whatever that was. And so she went over there And to her shock, they were not 19. They were not 22. They were not 32. There were 42 clinicians in that practice. And she went there. They're like, oh my goodness, you're amazing. We've been looking for somebody just like you. Give us a card. She ran out of cards. She ran out of all the things. They started referring to her. She started getting 5 to 7 patients a day from one referral source. Who here is like, I'll be happy with that. Like 5 to 7 referrals, I'll be happy with that. Now we'll create new problems. And I have to do a whole other workshop on how to hire great doctors to work with you to handle all the volume, right? But that's the thing. The reward for solving problems is new problems. We know this, right? So I want you to think about that. So again, if you hear no after no after no for 11 months, and after 11 months, you get 5 to 7 people every single day, is it worth all the no's? 1,000 times yes. Like, give me more no's. Apparently, this is profitable. I just need to take enough of them. Do you see what I mean? So it may be uncomfortable, whatever. It may be like, we've never done this before. Okay. But I am telling you, this is a gold mine of gold mines of gold mines. Okay? All right. So now that we are on the same page with that, building a referral base would rock your world in ways that you can't even imagine. And the reason why this is really powerful, if you think about who your business serves, why don't we do this? What is the average age of a patient that would come to your practice? Now, if you're peds, the kid is not the one who does the choosing. So it's an adult making the decision. Okay. So what's the average age? Type in the chat. A patient that will come to your practice, the decision maker for that patient. What's the age range? I see 40, I see 18 to 35, 38 to 55, 35 to 80, 45. What that means is, for everyone here, your patients already exist. Your patients are the decision maker. Please hear, I know it's like, yeah, duh, Dr. Una, but I want you to hear me. They already exist, and they are gathered in communities somewhere. Every patient you can have right now, the person already exists, and the person is in a community somewhere. So who is a referral source that can be a profitable referral source for you? It is somebody who is a leader of a community where they gather. And the reason why I'm saying this is because sometimes, I'm a pediatrician, so my referral base is OBGYNs. No, it's not. It's everybody who is a community leader of your people. So what is my job? My job is to go find the people who have my people and tell them, hey, I'm here. And they serve your people in a different way than you do. So again, for instance, I'm a pediatrician. Okay. There are people who have thousands of women in their community. They're OBGYNs. They don't serve the women the same way I serve them. They serve the mom themselves. I serve the kid. Right. And so can they send me their people? 1,000%. In fact, they're actually looking for somebody to send their patients to. So when I go ask them for referrals, I'm not bothering them. I'm actually helping them. How many of you are looking for good docs to refer to? Oh yeah, I'm looking for a doc I can send my patients to for X. Like, you're active. And as many of you, just type me, because I want this picture to never leave your mind. When you are talking to a referral source, you're not bothering them, you're helping them. You're not bothering them, you're helping them. You're not bothering them, you're helping them. They're looking for you, right? So when you go to a referral source, you want to go as a problem solver, not somebody who is asking for a favor. I mean, you are asking for a favor. I'm not saying go like with the prideful attitude, but you're a problem solver. So we're going to do this. We're going to answer 5 questions. So as I go, I want you to answer these questions. Why? As you answer these questions, you are going to bump into your custom strategy, your custom referral strategy that would change your practice. Okay. So question number 1, before we start all this stuff, how many patients do you need to hit your practice goals? How many patients do you need to hit your practice goals? Don't make it too complicated. Just pick a number, because I want you to hold this number. I don't want you to hear what we're talking about today as a philosophical thing. I want you to think about it. Okay, this is the number we want. Okay, this is the number we want. Beautiful. Hi, Dr. Chiadozie. Nice to see you. Right? This is the number we want. This is the number 1. Beautiful. Okay. Number 2. We're going to do some thinking here. Okay. And I want you to think about this. You're going to do some more thinking afterwards, but I want you to think here. Who has your people? So if you are, like maybe you do menopause or whatever, do the family medicine doctors, are they the people that have your people? You have personal trainers. Are they the people who have your people? Your dermatology. Is it primary care people who have your people? Right? Is it some influencer who has your people? Who has your people? The people that you serve, where are the communities where they're already gathered? Who are the leaders of those communities? Family medicine, primary care, the gym, therapists and counselors, hospitals, personal trainers and salons, cardiologists, daycares, churches, schools, med spas, right? Urgent cares everywhere. Orthopedic surgeons. It's important that you know, because these people are your people. The more of them you have in your network, the better everything would be. Okay, so now, for those of you who said primary care, after this, you're going to go build a database for all the primary care doctors in your area. These are the people you're now building relationships with. Somebody said med spas. And so you're going to build a database of those people so you can go start talking with them. Someone said endocrinologist. You're going to go Google endocrinologist in this zip code. And you're going to start building relationships with them. Why? They have all your people and they are looking for you. Now, there are a number of ways that you can connect with these people. So let me do a little teaching here, and we're going to go back to our questions. How do we connect with these people? Okay, I'm going to give you 3 ways. So number 1, we connect with them one-on-one. Okay, that could be whether you're stopping at their offices or, wherever the organization is, you're stopping there to talk to them. Some of them, you already know them, but you have never told them what you do. How many of you right now have people in your network who refer to you, but you have never told them their number's on your phone, like right now, but you have never told them what you do, and you have never asked for a referral? In the chat, let me know. Just say me. We don't judge. We don't judge. We're normalizing it so you can say, oh, okay, well, let me go get it done. Yes? You already have their number on your phone. You already speak with them. You already know who they are. But you have never told them, I do this practice. This is what I do. These are the kind of people I serve. Can we figure out a way to collaborate together? It's never happened. We can stop by and see them. We can send them a text. They are already on our phones. We can call them. We can send emails. We can have warm intros done. So for instance, you may not know somebody who is a good referral source, but you know their friend, and that friend is your friend. You don't know them directly, but you know the person who knows them, and that person knows you really well. And you're like, can you do a warm introduction for me and this person? Because this is what I'm doing in my practice, and they know this person. This person could, we can help ourselves, right? So one-on-one, okay? So stop by, text them, call them, email them, ask for warm introductions, whatever. But this stuff works. It works, okay? Now, if you're afraid of the no, I want to normalize that. So in entrepreneurship, asking is the name of the game. Whenever asking is the name of the game, no is a common thing that we get. But when we ask enough times, we get enough yeses that can translate to millions of dollars. So we don't get offended by the no's anymore, okay? So no is par for the course if you're going to be an asker. If you're going to be a successful entrepreneur, you will be an asker. Okay, so it's okay. So number 1 is one-on-one ask. You're an entrepreneur now. This is what we do. Sometimes people tell me, I'm a doctor. I'm not a business owner. I'm like, you have a private practice. Like, hello, what's going on here? We're entrepreneurs. We ask. This is what we do. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one is networking. Okay. The second one is networking. Again, I told you there's nothing that's going to be rocket science, but the combination of it will blow your mind. Okay, so this is the deal. The people who can be referral sources for you, they gather in places. Where they gather, go there. Makita, I don't know if you remember this. There was an OBGYN who was doing an open house, and they had like 17 OBGYNs and midwives and whatever. Okay? I'm a homebody. I like being at home. Their thing was at 7 o'clock or something. I'm like, who does stuff at 7 o'clock? Like, what is this? Where do you think I was at 7 o'clock? I was there. Why? Because it's a bunch of my people who will send me people. And that one networking event will be a gift that gives and gives and gives and gives for years to come. So I was there. My team was there. I was like, this is us. This is we. right? And then they're like, oh my goodness, it's Dr. Una. We like Dr. Una. Da, 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 da. And I was like, oh, I guess it's working. Like, let's stay here and do this stuff. Okay. Okay. So networking, where your referral sources are, you go there. Now, if you're an introvert, this is the deal. Networking is not a personality type. It is a skill. So you can be an introvert and excellent at networking, and someone else could be an extrovert and not be good at networking because it's not a personality type. It's a skill. Okay? So here's the trick. If you don't tell people you're nervous, they don't know. They cannot read minds. You walk up to a person, big smile. Hi, my name is Dr. XYZ. How are you doing? They introduce themselves, okay? Everybody is tuned into a radio station called WIIFM. What's in it for me? People are thinking about themselves all the time. Give them an opportunity to talk about themselves. So if you're an introvert, you ask the questions, right? And then you don't have to come up with stuff to say. Is this your first time at this event? What are you hoping to get out of this? What do you do, right? What would be a good referral source for you? What would be a good kind of clients for you and stuff like that? Like, and what are you doing? You're depositing the reciprocity band is going to come back to you, right? And then you can talk about what you do and all of those things. And if you find the synergy, you build that relationship. It started. We can network. So networking, you find where the people are. So again, all your people, they have an open house or they have an annual event or they have a whatever, show up there. Favor has to be seen to be shown. If people are going to refer you nonstop, they have to know you. They have to like you. They have to trust you, right? Okay. Now, I had to say that part first, but the networking can be offline, like what I just described, or it could be online. I have many clients who have had maybe a Facebook group like local moms or local professionals or a specific disease type. Like there are all kinds of Facebook groups. And I have had people that filled their practices from a Facebook group. And I said people, I didn't say person. This is not some unique strategy that has never happened. And so I was like, I don't want to sell in Facebook groups. I don't want you to sell either. Okay. But what you need to, you show up, you answer questions. You show up, you give value. And after a while, your brand in the group is, this is the person you go to if you have this problem. Then so people are like, I'm looking for a doctor who can, and boom, they're tagging one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other. Why is that happening? Because you showed up and served. So there's so many ways these things happen. But in order to get referral sources sending to you, they have to see you, they have to know you, they have to like you, they have to trust you. You got to show up. You do it, you practice it, you come back, you analyze, you say, okay, I'm going to do it 10% better. You go at it again. Before you know what is happening, you'll be so good at this stuff. But you got to be willing to start. And you can't say, oh, it won't be perfect. Nothing starts perfectly. Okay, this is an example I always use. This is iPhone. This is iPhone what? I don't even know. 17, something, 18. I don't know what it is. But whatever iPhone this is, right? Okay, Apple is a $1 trillion company. Trillion. But let me tell you what they have never promised you. A perfect phone. They have zero interest in giving you a perfect phone. In fact, their full business strategy is to give you a better phone so that next year they can give you a better phone. And the year after that, they can give you another better phone. If a $1 trillion company is not hung up by perfection, what's our problem? Perfection is not required. Better is. Perfection is not. So you network in the best way you can, and then you do it better. Right? You build relationships with referral sources in the best way you can, then you do it better. Who can do better? You may not be able to do perfect. In fact, you cannot do perfect, but who can do better? We can all do better. Okay? So we don't stop because we can do it and then we can do it better. We can. So we're good. Okay. All right. Third way. Now, this part, it is what it is. Okay? Don't shoot the messenger. It's the times we live. Is your online brand. Okay? Now, notice I didn't say social media, even though social media is a part of it. Okay? But it's your online brand. When people find you, when people meet you at an event, when people find you on social media, when somebody says, oh, take your child to see this doctor, the next thing they're going to do is Google you. When they Google you, your accidental brand will show up, or the brand you intentionally curated will show up. I don't know about you, but I want an intentional brand to show up. I want to decide what people see when they go and Google me. I want to decide that. I don't want that to be forced on me. Okay? So what that means is your reviews, like we talked about yesterday, you go after the reviews. Why? It tells a story about you. It tells a story about your business. Okay? And it's not about, somebody, we told them they had to pay their copay and they left us a 1-star review. You will always have people like that. Okay? There will always be people like that. However, you can still control the narrative by ensuring that the people who think you're the best thing since sliced bread also had their say. So your reviews matter. Your social media matters. Now, I'm not saying you have to show up and dance and do all this stuff. No, but people are going to look for you on there. Okay. How many of you have gone on, somebody told you about this amazing person and you should read their book and all this stuff, and you went and you looked for them on Facebook and you couldn't find them and you were mad. You were like, is this person even a person? And I go look, I'm like, who? This person is a ghost. They don't exist. Only one person? It is not possible. It is not possible that it's one person. You're like, is this person a ghost? I don't see them on Google. I don't see them on social media. I don't see them anywhere. Only on a website. Who knows what that website is? We don't know. That's the same thing. People are dead looking for you too. So even if you're not dancing every day, dancing is not required. Own your social media stuff. In your bio, put who you are. Have some posts that talk about what you do. Because people are looking and they're going to find something. They're going to find nothing and think you're a ghost, or they're going to find something somebody put there that you didn't have any say in, or they'll find the curated brand that you built. So you see all these referral sources, they're going to look for you. They're going to look for you. And then your Google business profile, for many people, the Google business profile even ranks above their website because Google does their own SEO, right? So you got to control that stuff. So those of you in the movement, we have like your Google business page optimizer. So you can go there and control what is there so people can find you. Okay. So referral sources. This right here is how you pour gasoline on the fire that your business is. Okay. Now, how are we building relationships with them? One-on-one, networking, and our online brand. If you amplify these three things, if you curate or amplify these three things, it becomes so much easier to refer people to you. So much easier. Okay, so we're not going to shoot ourselves in the foot by not doing this. Okay, let's answer these questions really quickly. So we've answered how many patients we need to hit our practice goals. We've answered who has your people, okay? Who has your people. The third question is, how can you connect with them? How can you connect with them? So I gave you options. You're going to stop by their office. You're going to text. You're going to email. You're going to call. You're going to ask for warm introductions. How can you connect with them? Don't neglect the relationships you already have that are either potential referral sources or can connect you with referral sources. Because sometimes we like to look all the way out where we have the people who connect us and we start building this wider and wider circle, if you will. So either stopping by their office, you're texting people in your world who could be referral sources, or you're emailing them, or you're calling them, or you know people who know the people and you're asking for warm introductions. Okay? Beautiful. Beautiful. Very good. That's how we're going to connect with them. Okay? Okay, so the fourth question is, where do they gather? Just pick one. My referral sources, where do they gather? Because we want to be aware of this stuff. So the next time they're like, oh, there's this event somewhere, whatever, you're not like, yeah, I'm going to read a book in my home, or I'm going to go take a walk at home. Where do they gather? Because where they gather, you want to be there. Because if they see you, if they experience you, they can know, like, and trust you. Where they gathered? This is $1 million question. Okay? So if there are conferences, you want to go to those conferences. Okay? If there are certain Facebook groups, I see that, right? If they're in church, we go there. Medical staff meetings, local events. Where are they? School events, right? All of this stuff. Moms groups, neighborhood groups, churches, chambers. So you see, like, there's so much opportunity. So you don't have to go there, but you stop by, okay? Because, okay. Final question, number 5. What is the next step you can take to make your brand better? Not 1 million steps. Not the steps I'll take in the sweet by and by. What is the next step I can take to make my brand better? It's one step. What is it? For some of you, you just need to go to your bio on Facebook, right? Maybe you even need to own your name because you're on there as Ann Smith and you're not Ann Smith. Some of you have to go after reviews. Some of them are going to optimize your Google business profile, whatever that is, right? I see digital footprints, but it's a little broad, right? Like, because you can't say, I'm going to get up tomorrow morning and do digital footprint. I want you to like, what is that next step? So that way, you can go do it and Makita can spend my money. That's the way this relationship works. You do the work. I give the homework. You do the work. Makita spends my money. It's a perfect triangle, right? Okay. So create a Google business profile. Yes, because people are going to look for you. Absolutely. So this is for your online brand. You can see that it may have been a little challenging to figure out how do we make these practices work in the sense that we did not get a business education. Okay. But not having a business education used to be a problem. In my day, it's not a problem now, right? Because that's the whole reason why we do what we do. But you can see, I want you to think about applying the internal strategies we discussed yesterday and this external strategy today. If you did it consistently in your business for a year, what would happen? And you don't have to make it up. Just think about it. Like, your business, your practice. Like, what would happen if you did it? You did the 7 strategies, some shape or form we talked about yesterday. You went all in on your referral base. What will happen? As I said in the beginning, the old playbook is dead. Okay. But there's a new playbook. The new playbook works. And we're physicians. So we don't need more fluff. We don't need more certificates. What we do need is strategies that work, that are simple. We need accountability, which is what is happening here, right? And we need community of people who are doing the same. And let me say this really quickly. If you are here and you are surrounded by the negative narrative of private practice, where every single day you are bent out of shape, you're so afraid, you're like, this is not working, I want to disappear, you need to leave those spaces and you need to insert yourself in a space where people are winning in private practice. And the reason for that is you cannot rise above your environment. You cannot rise above your environment. The same way I cannot stand under a vent that is, blowing cold air on full blast and say, I'm not going to get cold. That's not the way it works. You walk away from the blast. Okay. So if you decide, I'm just going to let my private practice die because private practice sucks, or I'm going to be in it, I'm going to make millions of dollars, I'm going to suffer and be miserable the entire time, then continue. But if you don't want to have that, people are doing it differently. So let me talk to you guys for a minute about what we built for you, okay? We know that you want something that is simple, something that is not a time drain, something that is practical. You want strategies that will still allow you to have a dream life. One of the commonest reasons I see doctors do not want to build successful businesses is because of the narrative that it will cost them their relationship with their family and their health. Like, I'm not going to have any time. I'm going to lose my family, or I'm not going to build a relationship with my family, and my health is going to suffer. We do not teach strategies that translate to sacrificing your life, sacrificing your health, or sacrificing your family. I am a firm believer that you can have it all, and I'm living a life congruent with having it all. What we built is a container where you get simple strategies. Again, if you look at what we've done here, it's all about simple strategies, but they're profound and they work. It's about taking complex business principles and making them simple, because they can be simple, just like we saw now. Okay. You don't want, classes 3 days a week and homework for 10 hours. So we don't do that. But you literally show up every Thursday at 12 noon. And somebody say, why 12 noon? 12 noon because we want you to work on your business when you're at work. And when you go home, we want you to be at home. And you say, I don't do that now. That's okay. We will show you how. Right? But you show up every Thursday and you're working on your business. Some days you are learning, like we're learning now. Some other days you're there to implement. You just come and you sit with your colleagues and you work on your business. So these things we're talking about, the referral source, you do it in real time and then you go about your business. But what it does is it puts you in a position where every single week you're working on your business and your business is moving forward. Okay? All right. And we don't prioritize learning. We prioritize learning to do. You learn enough to go take the action, because the action is where the rubber meets the road. That's where the rubber meets the road. It's not about learning a million things. In fact, in the EntreMD world, we call that learnitis, where you learn and learn and learn with no intention to do. It's a disease. It's called learnitis. Okay? So you learn enough to take the action to get the results. Okay? We're done learning for certificates. We're not, we're done with that. Now we're learning to create results. Okay? And when we talk about results, we had a number of docs share their stories. Dr. Bostic, joined the profitable private practice movement December of 24 when we first started it. And at the end of the year, she had 3x'd her private practice. And she was working part-time hours, and she kept her part-time hours. And I think that's fun. I think that's amazing, right? We had Dr. Funke who came on and said, and this was early December. She's like, I surpassed my 2025 goals, and I took 5 weeks off, and I'm about to head out to Chicago, right? And it, again, is the simple strategies. Dr. Anderson came on, and I think when she came on, she was like, I started working on these things, all of that. And she said, I've been refreshing my QuickBooks, because I think or whatever platform she uses, because we're almost at 1 million, our first time hitting 1 million in revenue, right? And of course, that was early December, so they did cross it and all of that. But these are real examples by real doctors. And they didn't do it to sacrifice. They didn't do it by sacrificing their health or their family or anything. In fact, most of them talked about getting more time, not less time. Okay? So we made it simple, simple, simple. Even the payment structure is simple. It's $197 a month, or it's $19.97 for the entire year. If we charged $197 for this workshop today, you already got way more than that. Right? And so I need you to imagine that for a month, and then $19.97 for a year. We made it that way so you don't have to overthink. You don't have to say, I don't know if I have the money. I don't know if it will work. So there's no question about the return on investment. Okay? So if you're here and you want to move your practice forward, and you're like, this is helping me, we don't have to stop this. This is something you can then do every single week to push your practice forward. And I really want to stop and say this. Sometimes we think about what will happen if we do something, but sometimes we also have to think of what happens if we don't do anything. And so if we don't do anything and things stay exactly the way they are, is that what we want? And if we don't want it to be that way, then we need to do something. Right? We need to do something. And for a physician who owns a private practice, one of the most powerful things you can do is get the training to become a savvy physician entrepreneur. There's nothing in your training as a physician that can make up for not having entrepreneurial skills. Your private practice is a business. There's the clinical side where you take care of the patients, but that has nothing to do with the business of medicine. And for your private practice to work, both of them need to work. For you to continue to be free to see patients, both of them need to work. Okay, so entremd.com/movement. Okay, we do have some bonuses. Google Business Profile Optimizer. Okay, so this is a custom GPT that was built by an SEO wizard. Okay, and it is simply, it gives you prompts, questions you need to answer. You're done answering the questions. It spits out your Google Business Profile, and it's put this in this spot, put this in this spot, put this in this spot. And it's optimized. The intention behind the Google Business Profile Optimizer is to make Google one of your referral sources. Okay, so that's part of a bonus that you get. The Physician CEO Stop Doing List. Okay, a lot of times when we talk about working on your business, a lot of people are like, I don't have the time. And I'm like, okay, but you're alive, so you have the time, right? Like you have 24 hours in a day, you have the time. So it's not about having the time or not having the time. It's about what are we doing with the time? And a lot of times we stack on so many things on our plate without taking anything off. So for some of us, you take a look at all the things you used to do back in the day when you did not own a business. And now when you own a business and you're doing all the same things plus the business stuff, it doesn't work that way. So because I know how hard it can be to find the things to get off your plate, we created a Physician CEO Stop Doing list. That is 50 things in your business and in your personal life that you can delegate or automate. Okay. So that right there will save you so much time. For those of you who pay in full, we're doing a workshop. It is a 90-minute workshop where I will unpack all the time management strategies that I use. Now, my life, I'm a wife. I have 4 children that I homeschool. I run 5 companies. I co-pastor a church with my husband. I lead a daily mentorship call. I have podcasts, plural, YouTube channels, plural, and all of those things. And I'm able to do all of that and have a life because of the way I handle my time. So I have a 90-minute workshop where I will show you how to use your time in such a way that you can get so much more done by doing a lot less. Okay. So pay in full, you get that, you get the invite to come join us in that. Okay. This is already sold out. So these are the 3 bonuses for you. And these, I mean, on their own are almost more than the value of, your membership. So, okay. So that's what Dr. Una has for you. So entrebly.com/movement, go save your spot, and we will see you in there.